Hello and welcome to day 4 of my Linktober journey. Technically finished this last night, but didn't actually get to recording and messing with the video until now, noon of October 7th. I am currently 2 days behind officially, but it's fine. For this one, before I fully get started, I just want to point out that my brother actually made some connections while looking over my piece between the villain that I had made and the villains in Breath of the Wild. Mainly being one arm is the weapon-based arm that's kind of corrupted and whatnot, the other arm being clean, similar to the Blight Ganons that you'll find in the Divine Beasts. Secondly, you'll also find that he's got one eye really visible. You know, with that whole shine thing I've got going on, which you'll probably see later once I actually move on to the third panel. But all of the Blight Ganons also have one eye. I unintentionally used a similar color scheme using the whole purple aesthetic. And the whole corruption bit is clearly evident in both. So, shout out to my brother for pointing all this out, which was unintentional, but hey, I guess it matches up. Whatever. I tried to make this game more original, but it's very clearly drawing from Breath of the Wild, but it's fine. For this page, I just kind of used it as an in-between page. Originally, I wasn't going to have the sage show up fully. It was just going to be a hand or this or that, but I decided, you know what? We're going to have the sage fully, or mostly fully, shown in that final panel, just because I want to be able to design her today, so I don't have to deal with her later on. And I guess that was the point of today, which was, designing her. So hey, I technically got the point of the day done. Color-wise, I didn't actually plan to have this page be so orange. I was hoping to keep a semi-consistent color palette throughout all my different pages, but that's not happening. We've got the first 2 pages matching somewhat, a little more green in the second page, then it's suddenly purple on the third, and here on the fourth I went overboard with the fire and orange and whatnot. Whoops. That, and I accidentally made a slight continuity error, being that I wanted the sword to slice something, because currently it looks like it sliced the OC, and I didn't want that to be the case. So I had it to create this giant gash in the ground, which was glowing, to match the energy of the sword so people could make the connection. But because I came up with that at the beginning of this page, I made a bit of a continuity error, because the last page shows his feet, and that gash would pretty freaking clearly be visible. So, that was a pain. This page only took approximately 6 hours, which was really nice, but also, I was really lazy yesterday. I barely got it done, and everything I did get done was after 9 p.m. So that was no fun at all. Thankfully, this next page is hopefully going to be fast, but I'm not sure. Just because of the fact that I need to do a new art style, but I'll save that for tomorrow because I am really running out of things to say for each day. I also had fun with panel design. I deliberately made those top 4 very, very dynamic. Or 3, I'm not sure if I've split it by the time you're at. I probably have, but who knows. I deliberately made those top ones dynamic, purely to show that, yeah, there's still action going on, there's still this and that. And then Black Box, because he blacks out after running into something. And then back to square boxes, just because using the square boxes, we're able to come back to the sense of, okay, everything's calm, everything's slowed down. And that's exactly what I wanted, because it's kind of a mess for a minute there. As for what he's running into, you'll notice he runs into a tree. That was a fault on my part, because there are trees on that plane, which I wanted to show, but I never actually drew a single tree. Whoops. So if I do go back and mess with this, I definitely need to add trees in everywhere. So, trees, friggin'. I try to avoid trees when I can, but after this I'm not going to be able to, because the town that he's waking up in is, as you can tell by kind of the greens and the yellows. I'm hoping to add some more blues in there, but I'm not sure where. I might add them in the form of light. But the village that he's in is a small Sheikah village near the Lost Woods. In this version of the game, the Sheikah aren't very prominent. The Yiga clan does not exist, and the Sheikah are dwindling. There's only a handful of them, and they've moved over to near the Lost Woods so they can stay essentially in hiding. Because in this game, what I want it to be is that their prophecies haven't been accurate. But because of that, people ended up suffering, blah blah blah. But the reason that prophecies weren't accurate is because they were told too early. The backstory to this one is that the prophecy of Link, he sealed away the evil, blah blah blah. But here's the thing, the prophecy originally foretold, okay, Link would seal away the darkness, blah 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 blah, and then everything would be good, everything would be fine. But the master shows up, and that's essentially where people went, no, this is wrong, you have screwed it up, and the Sheikah ended up getting prosecuted. So they've gone into hiding. There's not a whole lot left, but I tried to imply via, the Sheikah symbol on the veil that the sage has, that the sage is one of the last remaining Sheikah. They have been saving any survivors from the Master's destruction, essentially to atone for what people think that they've brought, but in reality they just didn't tell the prophecy properly. And that prophecy that they told incorrectly the first time is the same prophecy that this OC is being told. Which I'll get to it tomorrow. But also, the more I think about this, I'm thinking about changing it up, because I tried to avoid spoilers in the last video, but then realized I had spoiled it in an earlier video, so I'll just say it outright. So, the Master is supposed to be Link. But I was thinking about it, and the more I think about it, and the more I think about how this guy looks like a freaking Link lookalike, I'm thinking, maybe this guy is the quote-unquote true Link. Because really, he's generic Hylian man, but also, for some reason, generic Hylian man looks exactly like Link. So, I was thinking changing up the story a little bit, so that generic Hylian man is actually the one with the Triforce of Courage. Meanwhile, Link Classic over there, the reason he got corrupted is because he tried to use the Triforce of Courage in conjunction with the other two, essentially to stop Ganon, and his lack thereof, but the amount of courage he had and a blessing from the goddess allowed him to still live, but he got corrupted by the Triforce of Power, because he wasn't the quote-unquote true hero. He had the makings of a hero, and he had the courage of a hero, but he wasn't the one chosen by the goddess. He was the hero they needed, but not the one that was chosen. So this guy is, well, the actual true hero, which is why the Master's hunting him down, because blah blah blah, gotta snuff out the evil, like, get the Triforce, blah blah. All that good stuff. So, I don't know, I'm liking the idea, but also I don't know, because I kind of focused the design of the Master around the fact that it's all coming from both the sword, the corrupted sword, and the hand that's supposed to have the Triforce on it. So I don't know, I'm gonna keep bouncing around with this idea. Really the only time it's gonna super come into play is going to be on the last 2 days and whether or not I want to throw that twist in there. So, I don't know. I think I kind of want to, just because the more you look at it, this story, the way it leads up to the sage being revealed to be Zelda, the master being revealed to be Link, and the true master, being revealed to be Ganon, who only shows up after the master's been healed, blah blah blah. And I don't know, I'm just thinking about it, and in that kind of situation, in theory, the OC would just kind of hand over the mask and the shield to Link, and then Link and Zelda would do the fighting, and the OC is just kind of plastered against the wall like, oh god, what do? I need to get out of this war zone. But that, I don't know, that just kind of doesn't sit well with me. Because here's this guy who, he just put his neck on the line for the entire kingdom, and then here's the final battle and he's plastered against the wall like, help. I have no weapons. Help. Or maybe scavenged. I can word. Scavenged one from the frickin' Zora, but this is all I got. Help. So I don't like that. So if I make him Link, then maybe frickin' wannabe Link from before could have the mask and shield, or just a shield even. And the true Link, which is the OC, could have the sword and the shield or something like that. I don't know. Or just the sword even. So, ideas. I don't know. I'll see you all tomorrow because I don't know what else to say and I'm running out of time, so see ya.